Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Big news in the rugby world with the potential Super Bowl of rugby having been blocked by Ireland and France in a decision which has apparently left the other nations, including the Sandwich nations, as well as the other four nations in the Six Nations, absolutely fuming, given the massive financial benefit that was going to become with what was going to be a Qatar proposal to host a sort of a nations championship, a tournament happening every few years, combining the top 12 best sides in the world. Qatar had done a bid which was going to be worth 800 million pounds in total, or 200 million pounds per tournament, and this has now been blocked by the Six Nations, who all have to vote along the same way. So the constitution of the Six Nations means that all the unions vote on block, which means as soon as one team is not keen, the entire Six Nations basically vote no. Apparently the deal was not accepted because France and Ireland were unwilling to sign up, whilst Wales and Scotland are apparently very open to the proposal. Lots to get through here, because it's very interesting, and it's a very frustrating situation, I think, for a lot of the nations, because it is the two nations who don't need this, who are financially very sound, that have blocked this, and they can afford to, because I think they're sitting there going, well, we're fine, we're financially stronger, we're only going to get better, we don't need this. Therefore, it's two things. First of all, a lot of people describe it as sports washing. Any sort of the whole Qatar bid for this, for example, Saudi, tournaments such as Live Golf and the likes, big tennis tournament coming up. There's apparently supposed to be this very big sort of a moral compass, where morally, you shouldn't be accepting money from nations where human rights issues are not being addressed, and there are human rights issues. And a lot of nations, and I think it's a lot where sportsmen are kind of sitting there saying, the reality is, that there's no such thing as clean money out there really, and that the money is so big and so good that we just need it. Because as I said, we're talking about 200 million pounds per tournament, and they're going to be, and Doha was going to offer to have 4 finals to basically create a Super Bowl of rugby. Now, basically, how this is all going to work is that it's a nations championship, which will happen in sort of the July and November windows, and basically incoming tours and sort of alternation series will all count towards this, and then a top 4 will then go to Doha. I don't know, or 12 go and play in, I think, the semi-final and a final. That will be sort of hosted in Doha as like a weekend extravaganza of rugby. So the idea is supposed to be 10 bigger sides. So, your Six Nations sides, your Rugby Championship competing 10, additional 2, probably the likes of Fiji and Japan. Other options would be moving forward, a Georgia, for example, a Samoa, Tonga, if they get a bit stronger, maybe a USA, if they continue to really punt rugby and grow. And there was then going to be a second division of a further 12 nations. And the idea was to start in 2026, and then there's going to be promotion relegation sort of after that. So the finals are going to be 2026, 2028, 2030, and 2032, so as not to interfere with Rugby World Cups for a start, as well as British and Irish Lions tours. So you've got to try and factor these various different things in. Now, apparently Sanzar is so unhappy with it that they are seeking millions of pounds in compensation from the Six Nations sides because of the money they're going to lose out. Which I kind of understand. You're sitting there as an SA Rugby who are not financially in a great position, by the way. It's promising. We're operating at I think it's a small loss. Not a small loss because millions of loss, but you can sort of see light in the tunnel in terms of when we start getting money out of the URC, out of the EPCR. That things are looking good for us to eventually become profitable. But a deal like this, does a lot of things for SA Rugby. It gives them license to do more with our structures, which we know we need to. Sevens funding's been cut. Funding for the women's game is not nearly enough. We need to have a big boost in that funding, and this is where a tournament like that can make that big difference. In terms of what's happening with the tournament, a search for a new host is now underway. USA is thought to be a leading option, given the World Cup being there in 2031, and obviously I want to try and grow the sport, so that potentially becomes an option. But it's an interesting one, because it's a nice situation to be in as France and Ireland, because you could claim human rights issues. You can sit there and say this is not morally the right thing to do. because you've got the money to do it. Whereas the other nations are sitting there saying, I mean, you look at the UK and the Premiership's on its knees. Teams going under and the likes. Welsh rugby is in one of probably the worst places it's ever been. And these nations need the kind of financial injection that a tournament like this is going to provide, and they're not going to get it. So what do you think? Do you think Ireland and France were right to block it? Do you think that where do we sort of weigh up the idea of taking the money at all costs, for example, or rejecting it from certain sort of sources and stuff like that? It is a very topical thing at the moment because we're asking a lot of different things. I mean, for example, we kind of know where SA Rugby stand with the fact that they go and play in the Qatar Airways Cup. We play in 2, for example. We know that's a bit of a money maker for us. We know that SA Rugby would have been keen to have gone down this route, even without the support. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon. Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Some news on a Friday afternoon with the Rugby Championship match officials confirmed for the tournament, with Andrea Piatti becoming the first ever Italian to referee in the tournament. And what a tournament's going to be. What is the threshold of this Wallaby side under Joe Schmidt? The All Black side in transition under Razor. What are they going to offer? Felipe Contepomi taking charge of Argentina. Are we going to see more of the same, or will we see progression? And then obviously a Springboks side also looking to try and add a few more things to their sort of their bow and try and play a bit of a new style of rugby. So it's going to be a very open Rugby Championship itself. And we now have more information on exactly who's going to be the men with the whistles during the Rugby Championship. And very, very excited to see that Holly Davidson as well is going to be involved in the Rugby Championship after she refereed the Springboks for the first time in Bloemfontein, and in my opinion did it very, very well. Let's get into it, shall we? So in terms of the highlights, there will be 12 referees representing 7 nations taking charge of the 12 matches. There are 337 tests of experience across the referee team, with 3 Rugby Championship debuts in Pierre Bosset from France, Andrea Piatti from Italy, and Christophe Ridley from England. 4 assistant referees and 4 television match officials will make their Rugby Championships debut, with Holly Davidson to become the first woman to hold the role in the competition. Luke Pearce will take charge of the opening match between South Africa and Australia, with Ben O'Keefe to referee the last between South Africa and Argentina at Mbombela Stadium. So let's get into who's who in the zoo, shall we? Luke Pearce, by the way, being the most experienced referee with 52 tests to his name. Let's start with weekend number 1. So Australia versus South Africa, referee will be Luke Pearce. Assistant will be Paul Williams from New Zealand and Holly Davidson. Paul Williams representing New Zealand Rugby and Holly Davidson from Scotland Rugby Union. The TMO will be Ben Whitehouse. After that game, Angus Gardner from Rugby Australia will take charge of New Zealand versus Argentina. He'll be assisted by Nick Berry and Andrea Piatti, with Brett Conan the referee. A week later, Andrea Piatti will then take the whistle for the first time in the Rugby Championship when he officiates New Zealand versus Argentina. Angus Gardner drops into the assistants, who will be assisted by Nick Berry. Once again, and Maurice Jonker this time will be in the TMO box for Australia versus South Africa. Paul Williams trails the flag for the whistle. He'll be in the middle with Luke Pearce taking up the flag next to Holly Davidson, and Richard Kelly will be the TMO over there. The big ones, the big games, New Zealand versus South Africa, the Nelson Mandela sort of Freedom Cup. Those are the 2 biggest games of the Rugby Championship, as well as the BSLO Cup, obviously. But these games, for example, first of all, Argentina versus Australia will be refereed by James Dolman. From New Zealand, Ben O'Keefe, Pierre Bosset, the 2 assistants with Glenn Newman. The first referee for South Africa versus New Zealand in Johannesburg will be Andrew Brace from Ireland. He'll be assisted by Matthew Carley as well as Jordan Way. The TMO will be Brian McNeese from the Ireland Rugby Football Union. Then South Africa versus New Zealand down in Cape Town will be Matthew Carley with the whistle. Andrew Brace, Jordan Way will back him up with Ian Tempest in the TMO box. Argentina versus Australia, the second game will be Pierre Bosset making his Rugby Championship debut with Ben O'Keefe and James Dolman. Helping him out, Maurice Jonker and in the TMO over there. Australia versus New Zealand will then be Carl Dixon, the first BSLO Cup match. He'll be backed up by Nika Amashikeli very, very big fan of the Georgian referee, and Damien Schneider from Argentina. Good to see some Argentina representatives there. Stuart Terhage from the RFU will be the TMO. Argentina versus South Africa will have Christoph Ridley, also the RFU from England. He'll be assisted by Matt Carley and Gianluca Gnecchi with his first involvement over there. We've then got Ian Tempest in the TMO box. Finally, New Zealand versus Australia in the last weekend will be refereed by Nika Amashikeli, assisted by Carl Dixon and Damien Schneider. Eric Cousins from the French Union will be the TMO. And the final match of the Rugby Championship will be referee Ben O'Keefe from New Zealand, refereeing South Africa versus Argentina. James Dolman, Craig Evans, the two assistants, Glenn Newman over there. First things first, a bit frustrating that we don't have a referee as the South Africa in the sort of referees, obviously with Jaco Paper having stepped down. We kind of have a bit of a gap on who's going to be our next sort of big referee on the international circuit. I cannot wait to see Amy Barrett-Turan, for example, getting involved. We do have quite a few referees around the circuit. None involved in the Rugby Championship. Maurice Jonker continuing to sort of hold down that TMO flag, so to speak. Very, very experienced in the TMO box. What do you think of the referees? Which ones are you excited to see? Which ones are you nervous to see? Angus Gardner is somebody who's had a couple of controversies with the Springboks, but will not be officiating them, so nothing to worry about there. Luke Pearce is someone who's refereed Springboks a lot. He is the most experienced, so quite happy to see him there. In terms of the two referees for the New Zealand games, I don't mind Matthew Carley too much. Very interested to see how Chris Ridley goes. I suppose the big one's going to see how Andrew Brace goes in Ellis Park. I think that's going to be the big match in the Rugby Championship. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon. Everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. The death of rugby, inverted commas or question mark, is something that's currently being thrown around on social media after SANZAAR officially confirmed the law variations for the Rugby Championship, the upcoming Rugby Championship, which has been met with, to be perfectly honest, a lot of disdain, a lot of backlash, and a lot of anger, because it's once again showing how rugby is going down a very, very dangerous road, where we are getting away from the key principles that make rugby union and not rugby league. As well as in a time where we talk about officiating being so controversial and so widely spoken, laws that are going to make officiating even more difficult, create even more issues with regards to people understanding how it is policed and officiated, which is just going to make everything a little more confusing. So not great, to be perfectly honest. Let's go through them, shall we? Because there are 4 law variations. I'm going to go through each one. In essence, there are the red card rule, the countdown clock for a scrum, line and kick at goal, protection of the 9 at the base of the scrum, ruck, and at the maul, as well as play on for a line out straight, not straight if the throw is uncontested. Let's have a look, shall we? This is the laws that have been confirmed. Now, speaking on the laws, the SANZAAR CEO Brendan Morris said as follows. The Rugby Championship is the flagship of the sport in the Southern Hemisphere, and annually we see the best players in the world battle it out for the title. We believe this year's championship, that has been keenly anticipated by the players and rugby fans, will again exhibit the best of what the game has to offer, with exciting, tough action on the field, enhanced by the evolution in the laws of the game. SANZAAR, on behalf of its member unions, continue to explore ways to make the Rugby Championship and rugby in general even more attractive to fans. In 2024, the Rugby Championship is back to its full format with 12 tests played across Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. And then just talks about the fact that it kicks off and etc., etc., all a little bit relevant. Because the main thing I want to talk about are the law variations. Let's get stuck into this, shall we? First of all, the red card. If, in the event of foul play is determined to be deliberate and with a high level of danger, it will result in a full red card. Yes, you heard that right. A full red card. Not a half red card, a full red card. So now we've got red cards and even worse red cards. Not a different type of card. No, one bad red card and an even worse red card. So a full red card will result in the defending player not returning to the field, nor will he be able to replace. It's an incredible concept. It's actually been done before previously, In fact, quite a lot of sports, including rugby, it's called a red card. The way that's been done for how many years? It works. Leave it. But no, then we have to go with all other red cards. Again, not a different shade of red, that do not meet the above threshold will be a 20-minute red card in which the offending player will be removed from the match but will be entitled to be replaced by another player after 20 minutes. The offending team will then be able to replace the red card player with one of their available replacements. The rationale is that the individual, not the game, should be punished for red card offenses. I hate that argument, by the way. It is a team sport. You miss a tackle, your team concedes a try. You score a try, your team gets 5 points. You make a big tackle and force a knock-on, your team benefits. You get a red card, your team is affected, as it should be. That's the deterrent. That heartbreaking moment of knowing you've let your team, your nation, all of that down. That is a deterrent. This whole thing of, well, don't ruin the game. Nonsense. There are so many games with red cards which have been absolute thrillers. There are teams that have been galvanized by red cards. New Zealand almost pushed South Africa right to the edge, almost won the Rugby World Cup, and started playing better off that red card because they kind of lifted themselves up for it. I don't think there's any actual evidence to suggest that a red card ruins games, inverted commas. It's part of the game. We need our players to change the behavior. That is the deterrent. This whole a full red card, not a full red card, lot of nonsense. Absolute lot of nonsense. If you are going to do something like this, you're going to have an orange card and a red card. You're going to have to introduce a new card. We cannot sit there with a full red card and a half red card, sitting there in the bunker. What's going to happen? Far too complicated. The next one is probably one of the most controversial ones. And so actually go back to the red card. Imagine the officiating now. Now we need to basically, not only does a ref need to decide between a yellow and a red, but a red and a full red. So there's a TMO bunker. We're now going to have to be judge, jury, executioner, and doing this all within like 6 minutes. That's just kind of the issue. And this is absolutely hospital pass for the officials. How they think this is going to work, I do not know. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to be a disaster. But we wait and see. Next is the countdown clock for scrum, lines, and kicks at goal. Now, the theory about this is all right, basically, whenever in doubt, World Rugby and all these rugby tournaments throw up speed of play as the be-all and end-all of rugby and ball and play time. And there's absolutely no evidence, by the way, to suggest that more ball and time, for example, is more entertaining. There's also a lot to suggest that, running rugby, for example, just for the sake of running rugby, be more entertainment than a tight game. It's when fans complain about rugby and rugby spectacle, I don't think speed and play and ball and play is the top of the list. For example, you watched that the South Africa versus Ireland game last year in the World Cup. Billed was one of the best test matches ever. And that the ball and time play, for example, was criticised by Ian Foster. And New Zealand then hammered Italy, by 40 points. And the ball and time play, by the way, it wasn't actually much more, but it was more. And you sit there going, well, which one would you rather watch? And we all know which one people would rather watch. Anyway, this is how it works. So a player will have 60 seconds to kick at goal when a try is scored, or 60 seconds to kick at goal from a penalty from the time the referee is informed of kick and goal option. This used to be so it used to be 9 seconds, 60 seconds, now both down to 60 seconds. If a player exceeds this limit, the conversion kick shall not be counted or kicked. Play restarts at the centre mark for a penalty scrum is awarded to the non-kicking team at the place of a penalty. So that's one of the few things where scrums actually coming back making its return. B, a scrum must be set 30 seconds from when the mark for a scrum is made by the referee. A free kick shall be awarded at place of scrum against the team causing the delay. Similarly, a line-out must be formed 30 seconds from the AR signaling the place of the line-out. A free kick shall be awarded on the 50-meter line against team causing the delay. The rationale is to speed up ball returning to play after a score, kick, or touch, or scrum. Now, on the face of it, you sit there going, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't take so long, and I must admit, I'm a big fan. I don't enjoy reset scrums, for example, because sometimes they get a bit hectic. But they are a necessary evil within rugby union because scrums are such a big part of it. And now this is the big law that people are taking exception with. The idea that we are depowering the scrum, that we are taking away the set piece. And South Africans are taking it very, very personally because we've obviously had such a good recent history when it comes to the scrums. Now, in terms of scenarios, Jared Wright, who I mentioned before on the channel as well, I'm going to go follow him on Twitter or X, Jared Wright 17, has proposed a couple of scenarios, and this is what some of the things that people are talking about. Why we're now losing, what it is to have rugby union. And he says that the potential way to avoid a scrum in the Rugby Championship is once the referee provides the mark, they could delay the set piece for longer than 30 seconds and concede a free kick. Now, with the new laws, you cannot take a scrum from a free kick, which means the opposition have got two options. They can take a quick tap, or they have to kick it, but they have to kick it to the opposition or kick it to touch where they lose possession. So from an attacking scrum, for example, if the other team is being battered at scrum time, and don't back themselves at scrum time in terms of conceding a penalty, in terms of providing an attacking set piece, they can basically just sort of fart around for 30 seconds and go, oh, sorry, we'll concede a free kick. And now, for example, the attacking team have only got two options, which is tap and go or kick to touch where they don't get the line. Whereas if they were to have the scrum and win a penalty, they could kick for goal, they could call for a scrum, and they could go to touch. Attacking line, attacking scrum, kick for goal, points, or quick tap. So it's a very easy way of teams battling with scrums to just say, well, we can just concede the scrum bait, we'll just concede a free kick. Now, in theory, the referees are able to punish teams if they feel they're doing it deliberately, for example, or if it's a recurring offense, then they can upgrade to a full penalty, but that's going to take some time. So there's already a little bit of a loophole of how teams can manipulate this law variation. The same thing can technically be done with the lineouts. So, for example, a team gets a penalty and kicks it to touch inside the team B's 22. Maybe the rolling more is working really well, and they're sitting there going, "Ooh, if we have a line out here and we have a rolling more, we're in trouble here." If they then delay it and take more than 30 seconds to form the line out, then there's a free kick on the 50-meter line, which once again means that they can set up defensively, get their defensive system sorted, or else the other team has to kick it, or else they can kick it to touch, but they lose possession of the ball. So once again, potentially removing the advantage of having that line out, for example. They also can't opt for a scrum on the 50-meter line, which if they kept the scrum as a free kick law would have been an option, and that would have added a bit more jeopardy, because then you delay it by 30 seconds, cool, it's a free kick, they can take a scrum. You delay the line by 30 seconds, all right, cool, free kick. Now, for example, you conceded a line out, but now you've conceded a potential scrum on your 5-meter line or your 22, which if a team's got scrum dominance. So it's removing set pieces, and that's frustrating because set pieces are so important when it comes to rugby union. The role of a prop is going to be changing a lot over the next few years because we are going to have fewer scrums. Scrums are being taken out less and less as an option to turn to, which is really frustrating because, for example, you watch that scrum try against Ireland in the first test against Loftus. Now, I don't care if you are a rugby thoroughbred fan, watch every single game. If you are a casual fan, look at the reaction of the crowd when you see that scrum. It is phenomenal to watch. People understand the significance of a scrum, the pure power, for example, and we're taking it away. We really are. We're moving away from fewer scrums. That's number 2. Number 3 is the protection of the 9 at the base of the scrum, ruck, and at the maul. It's 3 different variations. So a player who is part of the ruck may not play an opponent who is near it and who is attempting to play the ball away. Near is defined law as being within 1 meter and as a penalty. So if you play the scrum off, if you're within 1 meter and attempt to play the scrum off at the ruck, then you are going to be sanctioned with a penalty. Maul is a player who's part of the maul may not play an opponent near it and who's attempting to play the ball away. Once again, penalty. And scrum, similarly, once play in the scrum begins, the scrum off of the team not in possession must take up a position with both feet no further than the center line of the tunnel. You now have to be, so for example, you used to actually, I think it's have to be at the last feet of where the ball is behind the ball. You now have to be basically in line with your team. So or permanently retired to the point on the offside line, either at the team's hindmost foot or permanently retired at least 5 meters behind the hindmost foot, otherwise a penalty. So you can sit there on sort of halfway in the scrum, sort of basically where the tunnel is. You can go back to the 8th man, or you go back to being in line with the rest of your back line, for example. It's an interesting one, in theory. So the rationale is that all 3 men are allowed to come off or play in their role to play the ball away cleanly from the player or without disruption. Once again, they're trying to just promote, free, clean, quick ball. I think that this he's giving far too much protection for the scrum off. I think that you should be able to put a scrum off under pressure, because messy ball is how you, for example, can change momentum. So now you're going to have guaranteed clean ball the entire time. The idea is to just be able to create attacking opportunities and attacking structures. But again, I think it's needless. I don't think we need to change it. It's again, it's depowering the scrum, for example, because now if you're under pressure at scrum time, the nine's going to try to take the ball out. Now they don't have to worry. Now they can go and find the ball underneath the lock's foot, and they can get that out. So again, the scrum is becoming far less competitive than it was. This is the only one I don't mind, which is play on for a line, not straight, if the throw is uncontested. It says the law dictates the ball must be thrown into the line out straight. However, if the defending team are not lifted to compete for the ball, then play shall continue in the instance a throw may appear not straight. If the defending team lifts a teammate to compete for the ball and a throw is not deemed straight by the referee, then they shall be offered the option of a line out or a scrum. If the line out is chosen and the ball is again not thrown straight, a scrum is awarded to the team that originally threw in the ball. So the rationale there is doesn't force stop and play when no material offence has taken place. Again, this whole obsession with stopping ball and play, I essentially don't like it. But I don't mind this, to be perfectly honest. I think that you should have to compete for the line out to make it competitive. If you decide not to compete and the ball is slightly straight, I think that's on you. I think this encourages more teams to compete at the line out, to make sure that the other team has to be accurate. I think this is a pretty. I mean, some people are raging about this. I don't really mind this rule. I think it's a bit inconsequential. I think it is a bit of a needless thing. So if you do want to stop, stoppages that can be prevented, I think this is a pretty easy one not to do. It forces teams to compete. Otherwise, unluck. So I don't mind that rule. But everything else I think is pretty problematic. But yeah, what do you guys think? That's what I want to know. Let me know what you think of those laws down in the comments below. I'm not a fan of the 3 out of the 4, to be perfectly honest. And the red card is ridiculous, and I think the continual move to depower scrums and the shot clock, whilst the nice concept of speeding up game and play, I think it prevents far too many loopholes for teams to manipulate it so teams that can't compete physically and are struggling when it comes to scrum and stuff like that. It's an easy way of them to just nullify that whole entire advantage, which is frustrating because that's what makes rugby union. 15 players of different shapes and sizes all coming together to play the sport. We're moving away from that. Very frustrating. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon. Let's talk about the Rugby Championship and New Zealand versus Argentina and Australia. How do we see this all going? We don't really know what to expect from Australia. We've seen very positive signs under Joe Schmidt, but very early days. Argentina, as you mentioned, a shaky home series against France. They are under new coaching as well in Felipe Contepone taking over. I mean, New Zealand beat England, but I think England messed up a massive opportunity for them to have actually gone and gotten the job done against New Zealand, especially in that first test. So how do you see the whole Rugby Championship going?
I think we'll figure out where teams are now. As we mentioned in previous podcasts, we've seen the Northern Hemisphere play each other, so we kind of know how they are. And we saw glimpses of the Six Nations of a very good England side who beat a very good Ireland side at home.
Yeah.
Then we saw now like the North-South, we saw us play Ireland, drawn series, France versus Argentina. France B team, it was a drawn series in the end, but kind of licking your wounds still a little bit if you're Argentina. And then New Zealand, a brand new New Zealand taking on England, getting through, but leaving holes and cracks in the door that could have been easily exposed and exploited by the English had they been a bit more clinical. So it could be a completely different conversation. That in of itself might be papering over gaps that the New Zealanders have made, although now at least they'll have the confidence of maybe knowing that they haven't played that well, but still getting over the line, which is what had become so synonymous with every New Zealand team we've seen over so many years. It's the classic, 60 minutes up, they're looking nowhere, and they just get it done. I think Australia, if you talk about a team that's really, we're at the bottom of, where they could have ever been after that World Cup. That's exactly where they were. Joe Schmidt managing to get 3 out of 3 results, albeit against, bad Wales team and Georgia, who were positive, but not enough of a threat. I think they've been able to just stop the boat from rocking a little bit and give a couple of their players just start almost enjoying their rugby. So now it's going to be like, okay, you've had, 2 relatively undercooked teams that you played against. How about the world champions?
Correct. No, I agree. I think it's, as it for us, it's ours to lose. And I think the point you make, we're going to find. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Big news in the rugby world with the potential Super Bowl of rugby having been blocked by Ireland and France in a decision which has apparently left the other nations, including the Sands nations, as well as the other 4 nations in the Six Nations, absolutely fuming, given the massive financial benefit that was going to become with what was going to be a Qatar proposal to host a sort of a nations championship, a tournament happening every few years, combining the top 12 best sides in the world. Qatar had done a bid which was going to be worth 800 million pounds in total, or 200 million pounds per tournament, and this has now been blocked by the Six Nations, who all have to vote along the same way. So the constitution of the Six Nations means that all the unions vote on block, which means as soon as one team is not keen, the entire Six Nations basically vote no. Apparently the deal was not accepted because France and Ireland were unwilling to sign up, whilst Wales and Scotland are apparently very open to the proposal. Lots to get through here, because it's very interesting, and it's a very frustrating situation, I think, for a lot of the nations, because it is the 2 nations who don't need this, who are financially very sound, that have blocked this, and they can afford to, because I think they're sitting there going, well, we're fine, we're financially stronger, we're only going to get better, we don't need this. Therefore, it's 2 things. First of all, a lot of people describe it as sports washing. Any sort of the whole Qatar bid for this, for example, Saudi, tournaments such as Live Golf and the likes, Big Tennis tournament coming up. There's apparently supposed to be this very big sort of a moral compass, where morally, you shouldn't be accepting money from nations where human rights issues are not being addressed, and there are human rights issues. And a lot of nations, and I think it's a lot where sportsmen are kind of sitting there saying, the reality is, that there's no such thing as clean money out there really, and that the money is so big and so good that we just need it. Because as I said, we're talking about 200 million pounds per tournament, and they're going to be and Doha was going to offer to have 4 finals to basically create a Super Bowl of rugby. Now, basically, how this is all going to work is that it's a Nations Championship, which will happen in sort of the July and November windows, and basically incoming tours and sort of alternation series will all count towards this, and then a top 4 will then go to Doha. I don't know, or 12 go and play in. I think it's a semi-final and a final. That will be sort of hosted in Doha as like a weekend extravaganza of rugby. So the idea is supposed to be 10 bigger sides. So, your Six Nations sides, your Rugby Championship completing 10, additional 2, probably the likes of Fiji and Japan. Other options would be moving forward, a Georgia, for example, a Samoa, Tonga, if they get a bit stronger, maybe a USA if they continue to really punt rugby and grow. And there was then going to be a second division of a further 12 nations. And the idea was to start in 2026. And then there's going to be promotion relegation sort of after that. So the finals are going to be 2026, 28, 2030, and 2032, so as not to interfere with Rugby World Cups for a start, as well as British and Irish Lions tours. So you've got to try and factor these various different things in. Now, apparently Sanzar is so unhappy with it that they are seeking millions of pounds in compensation from the Six Nations sides because of the money they're going to lose out. Which I kind of understand. You're sitting there as an SA Rugby who are not financially in a great position, by the way. It's promising. We're operating at I think it's a small loss. Not a small loss because millions of loss, but you can sort of see light in the tunnel in terms of when we start getting money out of the URC, out of the EPCR. That things are looking good for us to eventually become profitable. But a deal like this, does a lot of things for SA Rugby. It gives them license to do more with our structures, which we know we need to. Sevens funding's been cut. Funding for the women's game is not nearly enough. We need to have a big boost in that funding, and this is where a tournament like that can make that big difference. In terms of what's happening with the tournament, a search for a new host is now underway. USA is thought to be a leading option, given the World Cup being there in 2031, and obviously I want to try and grow the sports, so that potentially becomes an option. But it's an interesting one, because it's a nice situation to be in as France and Ireland, because you could claim human rights issues. You can sit there and say this is not morally the right thing to do because you've got the money to do it. Whereas the other nations are sitting there saying, you look at the UK and the Premiership's on its knees, teams going under and the likes. Welsh rugby is in one of probably the worst places it's ever been. And these nations need the kind of financial injection that a tournament like this is going to provide, and they're not going to get it. So what do you think? Do you think Ireland and France were right to block it? Do you think that where do we sort of weigh up the idea of taking the money at all costs, for example, or rejecting it from certain sort of sources and stuff like that? It is a very topical thing at the moment because we are seeing a lot of different things. For example, we kind of know where SA Rugby stand with the fact that they go and play in the Qatar Airways Cup. We played in 2, for example. We know that's a bit of a money maker for us. So we know that SA Rugby would have been keen to have gone down this route, even without the support. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon. Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport.
Good morning and welcome here on Forever Sports. You're live with me, Roots, for the Rugby Championship game. It's the All Blacks at home to Argentina. And of course, in case you missed it, hopefully not, we got to see the Springboks overcome the Wallabies by 33 points to 7. Before I do go any further, hit like and subscribe to the channel. Share the link with your friends and family. And of course, in the comments section, give us your score predictions for this game. The All Blacks, of course, are at home to Argentina. We'd like to hear your comments from where you tuned in around the world as well. And as South African fans, we're obviously delighted with the Springbok performance against Argentina this morning. It was morning, of course, in South Africa, 6:45 kickoff in South Africa, but we were ready with a cup of coffee, with a beer, with whatever. Me, myself, I had some friends over as well, tuned in for that game. But of course, give your comments as to who you think will take this clash as we see the All Blacks line up for the haka here. 9:05 is kickoff. Can Argentina do a number on the All Blacks? The All Blacks were, of course, chasing that number 1 spot. But the Springboks said, just hold my beer. We're going to keep it for now. Of course, South Africa have to play Australia next week again in Perth. Look somewhat favourites to do a double on Australia. There was, of course, talk prior to that game that we'd struggle in Brisbane, but struggle we did not. Will New Zealand struggle here against Argentina? We know the haka is their way of getting in the heads of the Argentinians. The Argentinians renowned for disrupting the game. Of course, they play with intensity, they play with passion, but it's all to play for here in the first round of the Rugby Championship, of course. If you want to give your comments on the Springbok game, of course, there is the live comments section. Do that. You are more than welcome. But you're with me in the hot seat here for this game. New Zealand versus Argentina. The All Blacks under Scott Robertson, his first rugby championship, of course, as the head coach of New Zealand. Felipe Contepomi, the coach of Argentina, knows what lies ahead for him. But we're almost underway with kickoff. The national anthems are done, and so is the haka for New Zealand. And we're just about ready to go. For this first round, New Zealand, the All Blacks up against Argentina. A special welcome to everybody tuned in here on Forever Sports. Without the fans, we are nothing. And that's a fact. As South Africans, we're kind of edging towards Argentina beating the All Blacks, but it's going to be no easy feat. In New Zealand, of course, New Zealand hosting Argentina for 2 games. Then they're traveling to South Africa. That's the one, of course, everybody's looking forward to. But they've got to get through Los Pumas first. And of course, we've got to get through Australia next week in Perth. But what a victory for South Africa by 33 points to 7. Game number 2 just about underway. It's Argentina from left to right. It's Carreras who kicks off for Argentina. And it's Hardy Savio who carries hard. But he's met with resistance on defense. TJ Perinara at the base. Does he shape for a kick? Yes, he does. It stays in field. And Argentina have an opportunity now. Well gathered by Malia. Franco Molina takes it up. It's Carreras. There's space out wide on this left-hand side for Argentina. They're up to the 22, 5 meters out on this left-hand touchline now. The All Blacks having to defend early here. Wonderful shape on attack for Argentina. Pablo Matera, the captain, brought to ground. Petrano. Here's an opportunity early on for Argentina. Intercepted in the nick of time. It's Bowden Barrett who comes to save the day for the All Blacks, but a positive start for Argentina there. Wonderful shape on attack there. Slipping one of the defenders, but then just the last pass Bowden Barrett getting in between himself and the left winger, Mateo Carreras. But he's taken into touch. It's going to be an Argentinian line out on this right-hand touch line. 5 meters out. No contest from the All Blacks. Argentina looking for a trick move. We saw the Springboks come up with all sorts of innovative play. But the All Blacks wide awake on that occasion. Driving Juan Martin Gonzalez into touch. The number 8 looking to pick up from the base, but is into touch. The All Blacks have an opportunity here with the line-out. Cody Taylor to feed. Under a whole immense amount of pressure here on his own line. Shortened line-out from the All Blacks. We saw the introduction of Sam Derry with the injury to Scott Barrett. Is he the go-to man? Yes, he is. Well taken, Peronara. Finding Adi Savia there, but Argentina just over-eager on the offside line there. The referee gifting a penalty here to New Zealand and an exit opportunity via Jordie Barrett with the boot, who makes no mistake. Early intent from Argentina, but it's the All Blacks now on their own 10-meter mark on this right-hand touchline via Cody Taylor again. Sam Derry, 2 out of 2. They look to set up a maul here. There is a bit of go forward for New Zealand. Cody Taylor with the ball at the back. Looks to break away. He's cracked to ground by the defence. One of the tight forwards there, Tyrell Lomax taking it up, and Peronara shaping again. The kicking game is going to be important, but well taken from Santiago Carreras. The fly off, Argentina back in possession. McKenzie back for the kick, and New Zealand return the favour. A little bit of kick tennis going on here, but Argentina with ball in hand. Keep it alive. To the right wing it goes. Matthias Moroni. He's brought to ground. Bertrano. Pablo Matera in the thick of things. The ball is loose. New Zealand come away with it. Argentina get the loose ball. Here's a real opportunity now. Surely Moroni is only 7 meters out. We're just about centre field. And somehow New Zealand again rescue the situation, but Argentina full of play here. The away side, New Zealand having to get back on defence. Matthias Moroni just brought down about 7 meters out. But then he didn't have support in time. And New Zealand were legally over that ball, and it's Jordie Barrett who looked to clear for New Zealand again. This time on the left-hand touchline. Wonderful work on the loose ball there, the right winger, but New Zealand come away with the line out here. It's Cody Taylor who feeds Blackadder. Savia carrying, pumping the legs, is brought to ground. Peronara shapes again. Clear tactic from the All Blacks, but it's Argentina via Matera now, who have possession. They're working themselves up to their own 10-meter mark. Bertrano. Looking to get the ball out there, but somehow there's a call that's come from the assistant referee. And looks like obstruction. from Argentina. They're coming back for a penalty to New Zealand. So free territory here. Jordie Barrett will put this upfield into the 22 of Argentina on this left-hand touchline. Some big hits early on there from the tight head of Argentina, Eduardo Bello. From that penalty, New Zealand get a line out, win, and driving maul. Follow suit, Cody Taylor with ball in hand. Inch by inch, they go ahead. Advantage, says the referee. Perenara looks to clear it. He's under advantage. It's a free play for New Zealand. McKenzie. Can he find space out wide to Severis? Just couldn't get it to a supporting player there. But they'll come back for the penalty to Argentina. Under all sorts of pressure in that driving maul. And one thinks New Zealand will put this into touch and set up a deja vu moment here. Inching forward, and Argentina just infringing at that maul. Jordie Barrett having a field day with these penalty kicks. Puts it into touch 5 meters out. Almost an opportunity for Severis there. But Argentina scrambled. New Zealand to the front they go. Artie Xavier at the front. And this time around, New Zealand overplayed their hand. Argentina with the penalty. And an easy exit here for Carreras. New Zealand just about on the try line of Argentina there. But it will be Carreras with the penalty kick. Argentina with the opportunity to get upfield. Early intent from the All Blacks at driving maul time. We're yet to see a scrum. But the forwards doing the hard work for New Zealand in that driving maul just on that occasion. The timing not right, but this time Argentina can't do anything with their own line out, playing the man in the air. It's going to be a penalty to New Zealand. A little bit of bargy early on. And Jordie Barrett has it again. Couple of penalties. Not in the right areas of the field to be giving away Argentina and New Zealand. About 15 meters out. Turning down the 3 points. Opting for the line out. To the middle of the line out, and it's set up again for a driving maul. Argentina are going to have to be aware. As New Zealand look to play down this blind side, it's Talea. It's intercepted. Argentina are away. No, they're not. Getting us excited here for nothing. Just when we thought it was going to break open there, New Zealand back with the penalty. And early on, in the first 10, 11 minutes, Argentina have conceded 6 penalties. So discipline is going to be crucial here as we see an injury. And some attention to the loose head, Thomas Carlo. The referee just having a conversation with Pablo Matera. They want to clean it up a bit, especially in this area of the field. Offside. Just got their timing wrong in terms of the backline defense there, Argentina. Frustration from Felipe Contepomi. But one feels giving away one or two more penalties could result in an early yellow card here. New Zealand putting the pressure on, playing in the right areas of the field. And this time, New Zealand opting for the 3 points via Damian McKenzie. They want to come away with some points. They've been in this area of the field for quite some time. And it's Damian McKenzie with the opportunity to add 3 and open up the scoring here in game number 2 in the Rugby Championship. Easy as you like for Damian McKenzie. It's 3 points for New Zealand. And they take the lead. An extended period of pressure in the 22 of Argentina. Argentina, in terms of their discipline, one feels just not up to international standard. They're going to have to fix that up. But it's all intensity here. The All Blacks have a 3-point lead. It's Carreras with the restart. Mark Talia takes it inside the 22, and there's some big pressure on defense. But New Zealand managed to recycle. It's TJ Perenara at the base. He has the angle to kick. It's charged down. The bounce of the ball just going into touch. New Zealand will have a line out 6 meters from their own try line on this left-hand touch line. TJ Perenara there just being charged down on the last moment. Cody Taylor to feed. It's Savia again. Or it's Tupovai, I beg your pardon. Perenara again. Finds the clearance into touch to relieve some pressure, but Argentina have to set up some sort of attack here. They're in the right area of the field. In fact, it was charged down again. Another line out to Sam Derry. In front, New Zealand get the ball. McKenzie pumps it upfield. Carreras with ball in hand, puts it high. Is there enough weight in it? The chase is good. But so is the catch from Bowden Barrett. New Zealand in possession now. Ethan de Groot takes it up. McKenzie. They look to play it up and free up this right-hand side. Geordie Barrett has lost it forward. Matera. Argentina back in possession now. Petrino. Lovely work from the fullback Malia there, but he's cracked to ground. This time Argentina can't hold on to the ball. It's McKenzie playing under scrum advantage. Can he get it? Yes, he can. It's Bowden Barrett. What a kick upfield. The chase is on. Surely now, New Zealand score the try. And the man with the long legs, Sam Derry, goes over for the first score of the game in terms of a 5-pointer. What vision from Bowden Barrett. And Sam Derry stretching his long legs. Playing under scrum advantage, Damien McKenzie said, let me see what I can do. Had the support of Bowden Barrett, and then that little cross kick into the centre of the field. Got the galloping giraffe to come onto it and stretch himself over for the try. New Zealand up with that conversion by 10 points to 0. The game opened up in the blink of an eye, and why wouldn't it when you have that man Bowden Barrett with ball in hand? What vision! It's set up nicely, and Sam Derry goes over for his first international try. And just like that, the All Blacks go into double figures. Argentina are going to have to find a way to get back into this game and get on the scoreboard. So many game breakers in this New Zealand side. And you have to give that try assist to Bowden Barrett. As we approach the end of the first quarter, it's New Zealand with more than one score ahead here. Taken in from the restart by Ardie Savio, who pumps the legs. Perenara doesn't have the safety of the 22. So he looks to set up a ruck this time around inside the 22. Blackadder taking it up. Perenara putting it high, but it's Malia who's got the dancing feet. Centre field, just over the 10-metre mark, Argentina. Putting it on the ground with the grubber, but giving possession back to New Zealand, and it's McKenzie. He looks full of running. Feeding Cody Taylor, but met on defence there. Cody Taylor. Argentina again at ruck time, just not able to curb their enthusiasm. New Zealand will have a penalty on their 22, 15 metres in from this left-hand touchline. Give us a shout out here on Forever Sports, where you tuned in South Africa or around the world. If you're excited as we are for this Rugby Championship, considering the Springboks' dominant performance against Australia, no doubt we look forward to hosting the All Blacks in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, in Ellis Park and then Cape Town, respectively. Lost forward there. No, says the referee. New Zealand in possession. Perenara to McKenzie. Anton Leonard-Brown busts up the middle. Breaking tackles. Looking for the long pass out to Severis, who couldn't hold on. And Argentina breathe a massive sigh of relief. 10 metres out from their own try line. Petrano to Carreras. The clearance is good. It's into touch just about on the 10-metre mark. Inside Argentinian territory there. Trying to almost look like the referee got in the way. But Anton Leonard-Brown found the space. Wonderful ball out to Severis. He just couldn't hold on to it. He had a defender on him. And Cody Taylor will feed for New Zealand here in the line-out to Blackadder. Back of the line-out ball. Perenara to McKenzie. Ardie Savio getting chopped down. Perenara. McKenzie looking for the kick, and Argentina putting it upfield. Inside the 22 of New Zealand, McKenzie puts it upfield. He keeps it alive. Carreras with a chip over the top there. Malia. Argentina want to keep it alive. Petrano goes in. Malia has to go and play scrum off. Matera up to the 10-meter mark of New Zealand. This time, Argentina get advantage. And one feels they're going to have to kick for the corner to stay in touch with this game. I don't know if it's possible they'll win this game in threes. New Zealand look full of running. Decision time for Argentina. Ethan Blackadder there just pinned at the breakdown. New Zealand have been pretty disciplined when it comes to the breakdown. It's Argentina. We'll have to look at that for the rest of this game. Almost up to double figures in terms of the penalty count, but they do decide to put it into touch. So some positive play here from Argentina. Into the 22 of New Zealand they go. Can they come up with something here? Pablo Matera, amongst others, leading from the front. Just haven't had many set plays at the moment, Argentina. This time, it's a safe ball in the line-out, and Argentina do come away with it via Pablo Matera. New Zealand all over that ball legally, says the referee. And it's Dalton Papali'i for New Zealand on his feet. Argentina need more ball security there. And on that occasion, New Zealand just too smart. Geordie Barrett having it all his own way, kicking for touch here. Just about up to the 10-meter mark of New Zealand territory with the line-out feed. They need more people cleaning their Argentina. It's Sam Derry, the try scorer. Ardisov has had so many carries. So influential, the number 8. Of course, captaining the side today. Perenara Therese. New Zealand looking to play the blind side. Severis again. Likes to get into the thick of things. But somehow Argentina come away with it. There's space now for Argentina. Can they get the ball out wide? Yes, they can. Lovely little short pass. Yes, an opportunity. Here's a try. Argentina hit back with a try of their own. Lucio Cinti, the outside centre, held the ball up nicely in midfield. Santiago Chocobares then saw his outside centre partner, but some wonderful work in that driving maul to rip the ball clear. And Argentina hit back. Wonderful ball from Chocobares to find Lucio Cinti. And it is try time for Argentina. Los Pumas up with a 5-pointer. And the opportunity to add the extra 2 via Santiago Carreras. Settled in his rhythm, Santiago Carreras fades away down this left-hand upright. So no conversion, but it is Argentina who are on the board. It's 10 points to 5. We're in for a game here. They've just got to clean it up in terms of their discipline. Argentina, one feels. But they're on the board. New Zealand lead by 5, and the restart from Mackenzie. Just outside the 22 on this right-hand touchline. Wrestle to ground from Pablo Matera there. Veterano just finding one of his loose forwards. Looking for a better angle with the kick. Looking for Carreras. Or in fact, it's Lucio Cinti there. off his left foot. Rather forgetful kick, but this time the All Blacks make them pay and drive them back deep into their own 22. Not a great exit there from Argentina, and Jordie Barrett puts it into touch. Argentina play the quick line out. They don't put it out. Mackenzie, you don't want to give them too much space. Jordie Barrett takes the hit. Centre field, Severis going backwards to go forward. But on this occasion, stopped behind the advantage line. It's Perenara. And New Zealand will get another penalty. It's that discipline we're talking about. Over-eagerness this time from the captain, Pablo Matera. In at ruck time, was warned by the referee to let it go. But it's so enticing, he couldn't do that. 9 penalties placed, 2 for the moment. And now an opportunity for Damien McKenzie to take it. More than a score clear. He's opted for the post here. Damien McKenzie, 2 out of 2 this evening, with the opportunity to add 3 points to take New Zealand up to 13. Making the most of the shot clock for the moment, down to single digits. Shapes for the kick. It's sailing. It's over. Damien McKenzie adds the extra 3 for New Zealand. 13 points to 5. A little over 12 minutes to play in the first half. And I keep harping on it, but Argentina are going to have to fix it up in terms of their discipline at ruck time. Gifting 3 points to New Zealand there on that occasion. 13 plays 5. Carreras with the restart deep into the 22. It's Talia. He's hit hard. And this time Argentina win a penalty. On their feet. Decision time here. For Argentina now, trail by 8. And it's Thomas Garjo there getting some more attention for the moment. What a wonderful turnover from the restart. Talia was hit hard. Perenara fed Jordie Barrett there. Time off for the moment. Give us your score predictions for this one, folks. Argentina are going to play to the final whistle. You know that. Interesting decision here for Argentina. They're going to put it into the corner. So again, positive play from Argentina on this left-hand touchline, 5 meters out. Argentina win the line out. And pick and go from the base. Veterano calling for reinforcements as they look to make their attacking shape here. Inch by inch over the advantage line with that carry there. Another advantage. Free play here for Argentina. Pablo Matera just can't hold on to that. Met with real resistance on defense, but it's another penalty advantage. And Argentina playing in the right areas of the field here. Looks like it's going to be a tap and go. Would you believe it? In fact, Argentina look like they're going to take the 3 points, come away with something after spending some time in New Zealand's 22 here. It's Carreras with the opportunity to put them within one score. He's kicked one, or he's missed one, I beg your pardon, already this evening. I'll say this evening, it's morning in South Africa. Good morning to all our viewers. Are you getting the party started from that Springbok victory? Rumor has it everyone was braaiing at 6:30 this morning. And more reason to celebrate was the Springboks winning for the first time in 11 years in Brisbane. And this time, it's no mistake. In front of the posts, a guaranteed 3 points for Santiago Carreras. And Argentina up to 8 points. "13 plays 8. The restart from Damian McKenzie. Inside the 22. Sinti from Veterano. Puts it into touch safely here. But it will be a New Zealand feed inside Argentinian territory. Tupovai for New Zealand from the line out. Jordy Barrett to Leonard Brown. Argentina on defense. New Zealand hot on attack. Severis. Savia. Can't free himself up as they play the blind side down this left-hand touchline. It's Perenara. Going in, digging there. McKenzie to Derry, but he's brought to ground. New Zealand playing it in short here. Over the 10-meter mark of Argentina. For the moment, winning the territory battle. New Zealand, McKenzie again. Ethan Blackadder wrapped up. Argentina defending well, keeping their discipline. Out the back from Savia to Lomax. The tight head. Can't go anywhere with it for the moment, New Zealand. Stuck on the 10-meter mark, playing from left to right. And it's another advantage to New Zealand. The penalty count to the effect of 10 now against Argentina. New Zealand on a free play. Jordy Barrett tries to offload, but going nowhere slowly, but they'll come back for the penalty. And this within range for Damian McKenzie. Will we see another 3-point attempt here? Offside at ruck time, says the referee Angus Gardner. And this time around, although it's within range, it's Geordie Barrett who's going to put it into touch on this right-hand touch line. Argentina are going to have to get out of this area of the field. New Zealand putting on all the pressure here. Cody Taylor to Tupavai. And it's a driving maul. Cody Taylor with ball in hand. Savia breaks away with it. Tupavai goes into play, scrum off. Pick and go from New Zealand. Sam Derry brought to ground. 5 meters out, playing towards centre field. Ethan de Groot. Argentina are going to have to show resolve here. Perinara out the back to McKenzie. Anton Leonard Brown. Try time. Held the way to the pass just long enough. And Anton Leonard Brown goes over for the try. New Zealand up to 18 points. Under all sorts of pressure there, Argentina. 5 meters from their own try line. Shot up on defense. Missed the tackle, and Anton Leonard Brown goes over for the try. The conversion should all but be a formality. It's under the sticks for Damien McKenzie. And it is a 2-pointer to take it up to 20 points to 8. As we edge closer and closer towards half-time here in New Zealand. Just about 2 scores clear. Argentina are going to have to get out of this area of the field. Spun himself out of that tackle. And over for the try. Argentina living off scraps. They're going to have to put a couple of phases together. And the restart will be Carreras. Well taken by Sam Derry there. 15 meters in from this left-hand touchline. Outside the 22, New Zealand want to play. Perinara feeds Lomax, but he's brought to ground. This time it's McKenzie from Perinara who puts it high. The chase is good. Argentina now with the loose ball, with the try. Surely now, just like that, living off scraps, you say. But we'll do that every day if it means a try. And it's the left winger, Mateo Carreras, who goes over for Argentina. It was a contestable kick from Damien McKenzie. Tapped back by Severis. And Mateo Carreras on hand to take the loose ball. Little step inside or outside and inside. The covering defense had no chance. It's under the sticks, and Argentina get their second try to keep themselves within range here. Again, the conversion should all but be a formality. It's under the posts. And it's Santiago Carreras who adds the extra 2 after that 5-pointer from Mateo Carreras. And Argentina up to 15 and keeping themselves in the fight here. Just before halftime, what a crucial blow against the All Blacks. But what a telling blow for Argentina, just in terms of momentum. Just about on the stroke of half-time. New Zealand restart. It's inside the 22. It's Matera. who takes it up. Brought to ground. Bertrano. Argentina looking to play. Putting it high, but just a little bit too far there. It's Damien McKenzie who gathers the high kick. This time New Zealand have possession now. Can they make something happen just before halftime? Perenara looking down the blind. Xavier Papali'i in support to secure the ball. New Zealand looking to give the ball a Geordie Barrett hit hard. Sevu Reece. It's loose ball, but New Zealand are going backwards. Big pressure from Argentina now. That try has given them some wind in their sails. Kicked ahead by McKenzie. It's Argentina who come away with it. Santiago Carreras. Can they have the last say before half-time? For pretty much all of that first half playing without the ball, but Argentina find themselves only 5 points down. Down this right-hand blind side. Into touch the ball goes. That will be half-time. It's New Zealand who lead by 20 points to 15. Stay tuned for the second half, folks. There could be something interesting in store. I'll see you in a little bit. Hello and welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. We're in for the second half. It's only 5 points that separate these two sides. Argentina trail by 15 points to 20 down in New Zealand. It's never an easy feat to win in New Zealand, of course. But Argentina staying within range, and it's Mackenzie who kicks off the second half. From left to right, gathered by Argentina, working themselves up to the 10-meter mark. Inside their own territory. Petrino to Carreras. It's high, it's contestable. Knocked on, says the referee. It's Talia who's going to play the scrum advantage. Bowden Barrett feeds. Leonard Brown to Tupovai. He's brought to ground. New Zealand. Mackenzie with the kick pass. Setting up nicely for Severis, who takes it again. Severis to Sam Derry. All of a sudden, New Zealand in possession. Perenara. Bowden Barrett wrapped up inside his own half, so they're playing behind the advantage line, New Zealand here. Perenara to Tyrell Lomax. This time, Argentina all over the ball. And an early opportunity to get some territory here, Los Pumas. Pablo Matera. The bull terrier over that ball there. And Argentina will have a penalty kick here. You kind of feel it's within range, but I'm sure they're perhaps going to be looking for the touchline. This time around, it's the All Blacks who couldn't secure the ball on the ground. And it's Santiago Carreras. Who puts it into touch. What a wonderful kick. Right up to the 5-meter mark of All Blacks territory on their own try line. With the line out feed to come, can Argentina hit level with the try here? Which would be their third try. A conversion would take them ahead, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Argentina! Driving maul! Over for a try! It's the 5-pointer they were looking for. Who comes up with it? It's the lock forward. Franco Molina with the try. And all of a sudden, Argentina are level. Trick play at the line out. And it's Franco Molina who goes over the All Blacks. Not aware of that trick play on that occasion. It's Argentina who draw level. And an opportunity to take media. The conversion is good from Santiago Carreras. And for the first time in this game, Argentina take the lead. We're in for something here. Shout out Llewellyn van Loo, Jacob Thompson and Denver Solier. Thanks for tuning in here on Forever Sports. The restart from Mackenzie is loose, but it's Argentina who take it outside their 22. 10 meters in from this left-hand touchline. Petrino beats Carreras. Just lost his footing there. But New Zealand have the opportunity now via Talia. Up to the 10-meter mark of Argentina. New Zealand, for the first time in this match trail, Argentina are going to have to keep their shape on defense. The All Blacks have looked full of running. But somehow they're in the lead. Mackenzie to Tupavai. Perenara, centre field they go. Ethan de Groot. Brought to ground. It's advantage New Zealand this time. Gajo, the loose edge, just not rolling away in time, according to the referee at ruck time. And a penalty kick here for Mackenzie to take the lead back for the All Blacks. He's going to go for posts. We're about 42 meters out. Slight angle, but well within Mackenzie's range. Argentina holding their own here in New Zealand. But just in terms of their discipline, they're not rolling away quick enough at ruck time. The referee pinning them there. Penalty New Zealand. We keep harping on it, but what a great win for the Springboks in Brisbane to take that hoodoo off their back. 33 points to 7. Showing the world exactly why they're world champions. And New Zealand via Mackenzie here to take the lead back. It's sailing, it's sailing, it's over. It's 3 points. Let's says go RGs, woohoo! They trailed by 1, New Zealand back in the lead. But Argentina staying within range. All to play for here in the second game of the Rugby Championship, as we see Argentina with a couple of substitutions. Some fresh legs. One of the tight forwards and one of the locks replaced. Looks like Thomas Lavanini will be coming on. Will we see the introduction of Will Jordan for New Zealand, who's on the bench? What a world-class player to have on your bench. Argentina go deep with the restart. Perenara. Feeds to Pavai, who's brought to ground. This time he's going to shape with the left foot. His favourite foot. He has the safety of the 22. And into touch it goes, just between the 10-meter mark and 22 of New Zealand here. Denver Soulier says, great Mackenzie, well done. Keep the momentum now, Blacks. Bit of an interesting one. New Zealand have had pretty much most of possession and territory, but somehow Argentina staying within range. And they win the line out. It's a driving maul. New Zealand managing to thwart the driving maul. So Betrano has to get it out. Carreras. Well handled by Mark Tillier. It's a quick ball from Argentina. They've got the dancing feet over the advantage line. Was Sinti there? Argentina now, phase number 4. Lovely kick there along the ground. A bounce of the ball in favour of Argentina on that occasion. Juan Cruz Malia, the fullback. Blackadder bumped out of the way there by Joel Sclavy. Says, how's your father? And John Cruz Malia puts it into touch. Keeping the pressure on the All Blacks here. Time off for the moment. The referee's going to go upstairs for something. Is there some drama? The TMO is going to get involved. And it could be Ethan Blackhead who's in a bit of trouble here. To the head of Joel Sclavy. Didn't dip enough. And if from what we've seen from the first game in the Rugby Championship, that could be a yellow card. And to the bunker you go, Ethan Blackadder. came off second best. But no real dip in the hips. One feels that is going to be categorized as foul play. And it could be Argentina with the opportunity to retake the lead. It's about 35, 37 meters out from the uprights, within range for a kick. But we await the TMO's decision here. But Ethan Blackadder could be spending the next 10 minutes in the bin. If consistency is what we're going for. TMO and referee in consultation. Jacques Becker says, good morning, chaps. Lekker to be a box supporter. Number one after round one. That's the spirit, Jacques. Can Argentina do the Springboks a little bit of a favour, one feels, and push the All Blacks right to the limits here at home in New Zealand? So no yellow card for Ethan Blackadder. The level of danger is low, says the referee in the TMO. But it is a penalty to Argentina, and it is within range. And Carreras looks like he will be taking a shot at goal. And an opportunity here, the shot clock, of course, will only be started now. And it's Santiago Carreras with the opportunity here to put Argentina back in the lead. Early on in that second half, they took the lead for the first time. New Zealand subsequently got a penalty via Damien McKenzie to make it a 1-point game. But this penalty to add the 3 could take Argentina up to 25. Santiago Carreras. Poised look on his face. Will have the distance. He just needs the direction. Shapes for the kick. Carreras sailing and over. Argentina up to 25. Hold your horses. We're in for something as we see the introduction of Will Jordan from the bench. No doubt he's going to bring experience. He's going to bring flair. A little bit of razzle-dazzle. But it's the All Blacks who trail by 2. And McKenzie restarts. And it's Matera. Relentless. Takes it up. Still caught inside his 22. New Zealand looking to counter there. Petrano at the base for Argentina. Just looking for a better angle. Sclavi there. Taking it up, brought to ground, but it's Petrano to Santiago Carreras. It's not pretty, but it's efficient. The fly-off looking for a few more meters there, but the assistant referee flag just up outside the 22 of Argentina here on this left-hand touchline. It's Cody Taylor who feeds Savia back to Taylor. And New Zealand want to play quick now. Don't want to get caught up in Argentina's game. Blackadder looking to make amends for that penalty, which put the All Blacks behind. But it's New Zealand into the 22 and up over the advantage line. Tupavai playing halfback. Back to Blackadder. Tupavai again with a pick and go. Adi Savia. He'll run all day. Twice on a Sunday. Argentina are going to have to show some resolve here on defense. Perenara to Dalton Papali'i. You got to make your tackles. Chocobares there, making a good hit. It's advantage New Zealand. They won't need it. It's Mark Talia who goes over for try number 3. And the All Blacks back in front. They only lost the lead for all of 2 minutes. And it's Anton Leonard-Brown initially punching a hole. You see a lot of those short balls. On that occasion, Geordie Barrett. On another occasion, Damien McKenzie, but it was here playing under advantage. Talia looking for work, finding the try line. New Zealand up to 28. The conversion should add the extra 2. And all the work Argentina have done has come unstuck. For the moment, it's New Zealand up to 30 points to 25. What a game. Yeah, in round 1 of the Rugby Championship. Slithers like a snake, Mark Talia. And if you don't get your hands on him, he'll slip through you like a hot knife through butter. New Zealand ahead by 5. Just under a half an hour to go. What's your score prediction, folks? You think Argentina can stay within range? Or do you think at that last quarter mark, the All Blacks are going to break free? It's all about the attrition rate and how both teams can utilize their bench, of course. Charge down there from Damien McKenzie. Is it going to be an Argentinian lineout? The referee just getting himself in the way. They're taking a bit of a dive, Angus Gardner. His eyes opened up like saucers there. Gets lost in those big bodies, but it's Argentina. In fact, it wasn't charged down. They'll have the line out, which they secure at the front. Matera working their way up to the 22 here. Juan Cruz Malia. Advantage to Argentina. Lovely little kick pass. They were under a free play there, Argentina, and all of a sudden, they find themselves in the right area of the field. Jacob Thompson says 44-28. What will Argentina do here? They're going to take a shot at goal. There's your potential 28, but there's still time to play. Do you feel Argentina won't score again? They seem to fight through adversity, Argentina there. On that occasion, it was Dalton Papali'i. They're just not rolling away, according to Angus Gardner there. Juan Cruz Malia almost through the gap. Took a big hit from Papali'i, but he just couldn't get out the way in time. Argentina with the opportunity to close the gap to 2 points. Santiago Carreras. More than enough time on the clock to keep his composure. Shape for the kick. And it's over. Argentina up to 28. They trail by 2. New Zealand feel that if they play in the right areas of the field, being the 22 and beyond, they can get a score. So Argentina will have to try and keep the ball, at least in the middle of the park. Find ways to get territory. as Mackenzie gets the restart underway. We see the introduction of Cortez Ratima on for TJ Perinara, so some fresh legs at halfback. Argentina don't find touch, and New Zealand come running back. Beauden Barrett to Mackenzie, who's brought to ground. Here's the slithering snake again to Leah. And again, Argentina can't keep their composure in discipline. Cody Taylor tries to find Will Jordan, but playing under advantage, they'll come back. Decision time for New Zealand here. Chasing the bonus point. Both teams, of course, on 3 tries. Within range for Mackenzie. And they will take the shot at goal, showing some respect to Argentina. Tit for tat here. Just not rolling away there. In time, according to the referee. And an opportunity here for Damien Mackenzie to add 3 points and take it to 5 points clear. From where in South Africa, from where in the world are you tuned in, folks? You're still celebrating that Springbok victory? Where are you celebrating? Mackenzie. Straight this time. No, it's not, in fact. Sailing left of the upright and reprieve for Argentina. Mackenzie with the miss. And the score stays at 30 points to 28. Just something to consider, New Zealand conceding 28 points against Argentina. What will happen when they come to South Africa? At Ellis Park, of course, a happy hunting ground for New Zealand. And then subsequently in Cape Town to close off the series of their tour to South Africa. It's New Zealand who have possession. From the restart, it's a knock-on advantage, says the referee. Jacques says, Kaibecha, formerly Port Elizabeth. Just let's say Kaibecha, welcome, Jacques. Springboks still number 1 in the world. New Zealand hot on the trail. Looking to give the ball some air. Mackenzie to Geordie Barrett. On the 10-meter mark of Argentina now. New Zealand. Cortez Ratima to Beauden Barrett. Looking for the lovely magic pass. Out the back to Cortez Ratima, who knocked it on. And a little bit of breathing room for Argentina now. They'll take the scrum. They want to get out of this area of the pitch. Stuck in their own half. But you see the magic there of Beauden Barrett almost paying off. It's a scrum down to Argentina. Lead by 2 points. Did you see that one coming, folks? New Zealand under pressure at home. Argentina, of course, in recent years have come away with the victory in New Zealand for the first time. What sort of confidence will that give them psychologically to push in this last quarter of this game? We know New Zealand have been renowned in the past to really come into their own in the last 20. But we've seen the evolution of rugby as well. The growth of Ireland, of course. consider themselves to be number one in the world. Shame. But Argentina have definitely rubber stamped themselves as contenders in this championship, albeit always fighting off the back foot. Haven't got the luck of the draw this season, having to travel to New Zealand for the first two games. But of course, they will host Australia for two games. It's New Zealand in possession. Bit of a messy affair after that scrum from Argentina. Quick ball here. Leonard Brown. On this left-hand touchline is Dalton Papali'i, who's brought to ground, but well over the advantage line. Argentina on defence here. They've got to keep their shape, stay on side. Ratimer with quick ball to Geordie Barrett. Fletcher Newell putting the head down. The big Buffalo. New Zealand this time caught behind the advantage line. Can Argentina thwart this attack? Will Jordan? New Zealand opening up now. Only 2 meters out. Cortez Ratimer. There's space out wide. It's Damian McKenzie for the try. The early dive to make sure. New Zealand up to 35 points. What are they looking at here? It hasn't been awarded just yet. Fabian Bogado says, Vamos, Argentina! Jasmo Vessels. Why are there only commentators and no vid? That's as per copyright, brother. But thank you for joining us here on Forever Sports. We're just having a look at something here. No try, says the referee. So all that work, all that early diving from Damian McKenzie, or nothing. They're coming back for the forward pass. Argentina breathe again and stay just within 2 points. "30 plays, 28. Fabian Bogado, can you please translate that for us, my brother? Gracias desde Mar del Plata, Argentina. What does that mean? Please tell me. Fabian. Scrum down just outside the 22, about 18 meters in from this left-hand touchline. It's Petrano to feed for Argentina. Can they hold their own and get out of here? Jacob was looking for that try. Would have taken him closer to his score, but it's not to be, Jacob. Sorry. Reset from the referee, but it's Petrano to feed. Argentina get the free kick. Of course, they can't take another scrum. I'm not sure they'd want to. You're kind of going to see maybe the likes of Santiago Carreras putting it high into the sky with some chasers. Doesn't have the safety of the 22. which he does. The chase line is good from Argentina. Who's there for New Zealand? It's Will Jordan to Bowden Barrett. Mackenzie looking for territory and finding it on this right-hand touchline. Edging towards Argentina's 22. The Anthony Taylor says, this is awesome, bro. Thank you for the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who tunes in. It's for the fans. As I say, without the fans, we really are nothing. And we all share a common goal, and that's the love of rugby. Brings us all together from all walks and shapes of life. Creevy with the feed, who's come off the bench. Argentina now. Playing from deep. What is this for Argentina here? Just the pass there to Matias Carreras, who's got a try already just a bit high. Stopping the flow of that attack, but Argentina looking to play from deep. Still trail by 2. Gracias por comentar. Saludos desde Buenos Aires. That's the capital of Argentina. New Zealand getting the ball from Argentina, and it's Mackenzie who again has the presence of mind to look for territory there. And back into their 22, Argentina go. Low and across the field of play. The bounce of the ball skidding along the ground and into touch. Argentina with the throw. It's Augustine Creevy, the legend. Esteban Morin says, go Pumas. Benjamin. Penalty, Argentina. They've really been stuck in this part of the field for a good couple of minutes now, and the opportunity is here to clear. Thomas Albonos, who's come on the field with his left boot. Makes no mistake, just about up to halfway for Argentina. Playing the man in the air there was Ethan Blackadder. And Argentina are in possession on halfway on this right-hand touchline. And another replacement. Joaquin Oviedo on. The throw is for Augustine Creevy here. Curtis November says, All Blacks, come on now. And it's a lost line out for Argentina. But it's a loose ball. Argentina are all over them. Another loose pass. Argentina can do something here. Surely! Yes, it's going to be a 5-meter scrum. Thank you, sir. 2 loose passes. And just like that, New Zealand have to defend their own line. Hello? Not 1, but 2. Let's go, Argentina. Let's go. It was Rico Ioane who had to clean up the summon to the bench for this game after some rather lethargic performances. And as Scott Robertson alluded, it is a performance-based game. The outside centre had to sit on the bench. But all he could do there on that occasion was clean up the mess, which was 2 loose passes. And Argentina, all of a sudden, after camping out inside their own 22, find themselves on the All Blacks 5-meter line. Can they go in here? Snatch that lead back. It's Bertrano. Argentina. They're only 2 meters out. Yes, an opportunity. Surely that's a try. Just short. They're only a metre out. Folks, there's drama here in New Zealand. Argentina are over under the posts. Who's coming up with the ball? It's Augustine Creevy, the captain, the former captain, the legend, the myth. Augustine Creevy put his head down and has put Argentina into the lead. And if you're South African, you're a very happy bloke. Right now, Creevy said, give it to me. I'll do it. He's done it. What a try. And the extra 2. It's Argentina who lead by 5 points. With a little over 10 minutes to go, Argentina. Or New Zealand rather looking to take the restart quickly. And all of a sudden, Scott Robinson's tenure under all sorts of pressure here. Argentina believe. And why wouldn't you? He might be as old as the hills, but roll back the years there. Augustine Creevy. Defonso Embudo, says the legend. Augustine, try. Esteban Morin says, muchacho! And Argentina are going to have to hold on here. The contest was there from Argentina. This throw was not straight. And the All Blacks unraveling for the moment. Under the new laws, if there's no contest, the throw can be skewed, but there was a contest there, and Asafa Moore will be kicking himself. It's Argentina in the lead here. What a game. Stephen Mould, how's it, Ruth? Steve here, bud. Don't have a heart attack, cuz. What a game, bud. Is that the Stephen I know? Is that the Stephen I know? What's up, cousin? It's Argentina who hold a 5-point lead here against the All Blacks and against all odds. The Argentinian fans celebrating in the crowd, but it might be a little bit too early. You know, the All Blacks can still make a comeback here. Argentina are just going to have to get the ball to the other end of the field. What drama here on a Saturday morning if you're in South Africa. We saw some folks tuning in from Argentina. From where in the world are you tuned in for this one? And it's a penalty to Argentina, slowly but surely. The hope, the dream is gaining some traction here. For Los Pumas, it's Fletcher Newell, who's been penalised at scrum time. And an opportunity to clear their lines. Time off for the moment. But it is Argentina. In case you've just opened your eyes now, you're not seeing wrong. who are in the lead against the All Blacks. 35 points to 30. Quinton Rossiteinstein says, Lekker go Pumas. Quinton from Edinburgh. Thanks, But. Thank you for tuning in. This is what we do. We live these moments together here on Forever Sports. After the Box victory, wouldn't this just be that little bit sweeter if Argentina can come over the line here? Play has not continued for the moment. Some attention just to the boots of the replacement fly-half, Thomas Albanos. It's Argentinian flags wafting in the stands. But still a lot to play for. A lot can happen in 8 minutes. They just got to try and hold on to the ball. Stephen Mould, would you believe it? It is you. Doing great, especially if Argentina can win, brother. Roll away, tackler. No tackler yet. It's Argentina on the 10-meter mark of New Zealand here in possession. They win the line out. Chocobares goes hard. New Zealand are going to have to find a way to get their hands on the ball, but also stay disciplined on defense. Chocobares up and over the 22. Go Argentina via Mateo Carreras. Who's got it? New Zealand have got it via Cortez Ratima. New Zealand want to play. Wallace Satiti. Bowden Barrett. And not a good kick there from Thomas Albanos, giving New Zealand an opportunity to attack. They're just over halfway. End-to-end stuff here. Well held by Wallace Satiti in the line out. Geordie Barrett. New Zealand have to keep their hands secure in possession. Playing it down this left-hand side. Big hit on Wallace Satiti. Penalty, Argentina holding on. Would you believe it? Those decisions going in favor of Argentina for the moment. It's Augustine Creevy. Scored a try, and now with the turnover, it's all happening. And there's just a little over 5 minutes to play. Can they put it deep? Albanos. Just outside the 22. Go Argentina. And Creevy set on that ball. From the moment Wallace Satiti went to ground, Denver Sillier says, my All Blacks will come back and win the game. We play 80 minutes plus the extra minutes. I believe in my team. Denver, you're clutching onto straws. But I'll give it to you. The All Blacks are renowned to come back. Nathan Jones, Sevu for the next try. But what an impact off the bench from Augustine Creevy as Argentina go driving ahead here. They're walking the All Blacks backwards. They just got to hold on to possession surely now. Argentina 15 meters out. The crowd getting behind their home side for sure. Bertrano. Is there perhaps a potential for a drop goal? No. Holding on. It's New Zealand who have the penalty over that ball legally. Argentina holding on this time around. Argentina, Argentina, Argentina. The impact that this victory could have, surely now. There's still time on the clock, just a little over 3 minutes. Great showing from Argentina here, away from home in this first match of their Rugby Championship. It's overthrown. New Zealand have lost the line out. Argentina in possession. Bertrano. Argentina have the ball. And it's a penalty to Argentina. They're up by 38 points to 30. And now all seems lost for New Zealand. They've got to restart quickly. Argentina up by more than a score. A converted try won't do it. There's just over a minute to play, but what a game. Argentina will take victory here, surely now. I just had some difficulties with the live feed, but we're back. Then subsequently it was a penalty kicked over by Argentina, and they're in possession from the restart with seconds to go on the clock. It's Argentina up 38 points to 30. Tumultuous times for Scott Robertson, no doubt. The All Blacks losing a home test match against Argentina, and they're looking to run down the clock. Ole, ole, ole for Argentina. Can New Zealand come away with it? No, they can't. It's a penalty to Argentina, and that will be another famous victory in New Zealand for Los Pumas. They just need to tap and kick it out. And that will be that. Argentina take victory. Vamos, Argentina, by 38 points to 30. Went into half-time trailing by 5 when it was 20 points to 15. And blew this game out of the water in the second half, folks. No one saw that coming, but don't count out Argentina in this Rugby Championship. It's the Springboks 1 from 1. It's Argentina 1 from 1. And that is a wrap from myself, Roots, here at Forever Sports. Argentina 38, New Zealand 30, and it's simply sensational. Until next time, folks, I say bye for now.